Hi, I'm Patrick Reagan, and welcome to Network Switches, Part 5, Intro to Cisco Switches. In this video, we will take a deeper dive into specifically Cisco switches, since Cisco has been the leading provider of networking hardware and are common in enterprise networks worldwide. It covers the main families of Cisco switches and various ports and LEDs found on switches, connecting to and using the console port, and running common commands on Cisco switches. As always, stick around for the practice questions at the end to test your knowledge and help you prepare for the Network Plus exam. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to click the like button, and if you have not already, subscribe to the Pat Has Your Back channel for more tech training content and networking know-how. Cisco Systems is widely regarded as the company with the most popular networking switches. Cisco has a significant market share in the networking equipment industry, and its switches are used by a vast number of enterprises, data centers, and service providers globally. Cisco switches are known for their robust performance, high reliability, and extensive feature sets that meet the needs of various networking environments. Cisco provides extensive support services including technical assistance, training, and certification programs such as CCNA, CCNP, and CCIE that help IT professionals effectively manage and optimize their networks. Cisco continues to innovate with new technologies and solutions such as internet-based networking and advanced analytics, keeping their products relevant and cutting edge. Cisco offers advanced networking features such as software-defined networking, or SDN, network automation, high security measures, quality of service, or QoS, and network segmentation and virtualization. Cisco's long-standing reputation in the industry as a leader in networking technology contributes to its popularity and widespread adoption. Cisco offers a wide range of switches to meet various networking needs. The main families of Cisco switches include the Cisco Catalyst switches, Cisco Nexus switches, Cisco Meraki switches, and Cisco Industrial Internet switches. Cisco Catalyst switches are primarily aimed at providing high-performance, reliable, and scalable networking solutions for a variety of environments. It's aimed at small to medium-sized businesses, or SMBs. Catalyst 1000 series are affordable fixed configuration switches for small businesses. Catalyst 2000 series are cost-effective switches for small to medium-sized businesses. Catalyst 3000 series offers advanced features for medium-sized enterprise. And Catalyst 4000 series are modular switches for mid-sized to large networks. Aimed at large-sized networks, Catalyst 6000 series are high-performance scalable switches for large enterprises. Aimed at data centers and software-defined networks, the Catalyst 9000 series designed for the next generation workplace with support for software-defined networking and advanced security. Cisco Nexus switches are primarily designed for data center environments, cloud data centers, large virtualized environments, high-performance computing, or HPC, and storage networking, which offers high performance, low latency, and high bandwidth, scalability, and advanced features tailored to meet the demands of modern data centers. Nexus switches provide advanced security features such as network segmentation and isolation to protect sensitive data and applications in the data center. Cisco Meraki switches are aimed at organizations looking for simple, scalable, and secure network management solutions, making them ideal for a wide range of industries and use cases. While Cisco remains the leader in terms of market share and popularity, driven by its comprehensive product offerings, advanced features, and strong brand reputation, other competitors in the networking switch market include Arista Networks, which are known for high-performance data center switches, Juniper Networks, which offers a wide range of switches for enterprise and service provider networks, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, or HPE, with its Aruba Networks brand. HPE provides competitive networking solutions, and Hawaii, which offers a wide range of networking products and has a strong presence, particularly in Asia. Cisco Catalyst switches have a variety of LED lights used to act as indicators of performance. Depending on the model of the switch, there will be different LEDs from product to product. System LED shows that the switch is connected to a power source and is functioning correctly. A switch in working operations is denoted by the color green, whereas an amber color indicates that there's a problematic connection and the switch isn't connected correctly. When the LED light is off, this is an indication that the user needs to check if the switch is connected to our power source correctly. Redundant Power System, or RPS LED, shows you the status of the redundant power system. A green LED indicates that the RPS is up and running. If the RPS light is off, then the switch isn't connected to the backup power supply. If you see a flashing green LED, that means that the RPS is connected but is providing power to another device. An amber LED tells you the device is in standby mode. However, if this light blinks, it means that the device has failed and the RPS is providing backup power. Port Status LED is used to tell you when the port status mode has been selected. When the LED is green, this means that the port status mode is in operation, which is the default mode of the switch. A green LED light indicates that the port is in the process of sending or receiving data. When the LED is completely turned off and inactive, this means that there is no link. Likewise, if the LED alternates between green and amber, then there is a link fault. In the event that the port is blocked, you'll be notified with an amber light. Port Duplex LED is used to indicate when port duplex mode is activated. If you see a green light, then all ports that are turned off are in half duplex mode. A green LED also means that the port is considered to be in full duplex mode. Port Speed LED is used to indicate how well your switch is performing in terms of speed. When there's no active LED, then you know the port is operating at 10 megabits per second. A green LED light tells you the port is operating at a speed of 100 megabits per second, and a blinking green LED port tells you the port is operating quickly at 1000 megabits per second. Power over Ethernet, or PoE mode, is when PoE mode is selected, the LED light will be on. However, if there's no LED, then this means that the PoE mode hasn't been selected for use. A green LED means that PoE has been selected, and there will also be additional display colors shown on the port LEDs containing further information. If the LED is alternating between green and amber, then this means that the PoE is being denied because providing power to the device takes more power than the switch can provide. A blinking amber LED light means that the PoE is unavailable due to a fault. The mode button on Cisco switches is a multifunctional button that allows users to cycle through various modes and perform specific tasks depending on the model and configuration of the switch. The console cable in Cisco Catalyst switches is used for direct local management and configuration of the switch. When a new switch is being set up for the first time, the console cable is used to connect a computer to the switch console port to perform the initial configuration. It also provides direct access to the switch's command line interface, or CLI, for troubleshooting and diagnosing network issues, especially when remote access is not available. It is useful for recovering a switch from a configuration error when the switch is in a non-responsive state. It can be used to provide a secure method to manage and configure the switch since it requires physical access to the device. Of course, the switch needs to be in a secure room or locked cabinet. It can also be used for upgrading the Cisco Networking Operating System, or iOS. To connect a switch, you would use a console cable, which may look like a standard Ethernet port, but has a different wiring compared to a standard Ethernet port. The RJ45 to DB9 console cable is sometimes known as a rollover cable. Newer switches will have a mini USB or USB-C port where you would connect a USB console cable. This slide shows another switch with the console ports. Looking at the example switch below, we have to look at the labels for the numbers. The odd ports are on the top, and the even ports are on the bottom. The modules are ports 25 through 28. To connect to the console port to configure a Cisco switch, you would connect to an RJ45 connector to your DB9 serial console cable or USB console cable. You'll need to start your terminal emulator software such as PuTTY, TerraTerm, HyperTerminal, or the built-in terminal in Mac OS or Linux. Install any necessary drivers, which are usually available on the Cisco website or come with the cable. Open terminal emulator software such as PuTTY, and under Connections type, select Serial. Configure the following settings, where the baud rate is 9600, data bits is 8, parity none, stop bits 1, and flow control is set to none. Click Open or Enter to initiate the connection. You should see the switch's command line interface prompt. The system is started in the kernel mode and boots, and after that, the operating system's loaded, which executes applications in a user mode. Cisco has two modes. User mode allows an admin to have access to some monitoring commands only, such as the ping command, and to view the configuration of the device. It is designated by the greater than sign prompt. Privilege mode is a protected mode that has the ability to configure all the commands and manage the device. It is known as the master mode, system mode, or kernel mode. Privilege mode is an authority to perform the functions on a computer system. It allows users to perform the actions at a security consequence. To get into privilege mode, you just have to execute the enable command. It is recommended to have a password for privilege mode. It is designated by the # prompt. To show the switch configuration, you would execute one of the following commands: show running -config or show run. To show the saved configuration, if one is saved, execute one of the following commands: show startup -config or show start. If changes were made to the running configuration, you may need to save the configuration to the startup config with one of the following: copy running -config startup -config or write mem. If you don't save the changes, the next time you shut down or reboot the switch, the changes will convert back to the previous saved changes. When you make changes, don't forget to save your changes. The config-t command on Cisco device is used to enter global configuration mode. This mode allows you to make changes to the switch's configuration that affect the entire device or specific interfaces, protocols, or settings. To enter the global configuration mode, you would execute the following from privilege mode: config-t, which is short for configure terminal. It is indicated by the config # prompt. In global configuration mode, you can configure the system-wide settings such as creating or modifying access control lists or ACLs, configure interfaces, setting up routing protocols, managing VLANs, configuring security features like SSH or passwords, and setting global parameters such as host names or logging. One of the most useful and popular commands for Cisco iOS is show version. To change the name of your switch, you would use the hostname command as shown on the screen. To add a password to the console, you must use the following command to change to the console interface: line console 0. Then use the password command such as password Cisco. Note, the default username and password is Cisco. Remember to always change the default password on network gear, including switches and routers. To get back to the global configuration, you would use the exit command. To change the password for VTY, which is used for Telnet and SSH, you would switch line VTY 015. Then use the password command. To change the password to enter privilege mode, you would execute the enable password command from the configure terminal prompt. To verify that the interface is disabled, you can use the show IP interface brief or show interfaces command to check the status. You can then switch to the interface using the interface command. You can specify description, duplex full or duplex half, speed 100 or speed 1000. To disable or shut down an interface, you would use the shutdown command. To enable an interface, you would use the no shutdown command. Layer 2 switches do not require an IP address to function as a switch. However, to manage switches, an IP address can be assigned to a switch so they can remotely access the switch, which can be done with SSH, Telnet, which is not recommended, and a web interface. To configure the management port, you would select the management interface, which is a typically VLAN 1, which may be different for your enterprise organization. Interface VLAN 1. You would then assign an IP address 192.168.1.2, 255.255.255.0. Enable the interface with no shutdown command, and then configure the default gateway IP default-gateway 192.168.1.1. Don't forget to save your configuration. You can then use the switch to test connectivity with the ping command, and you can use the ping command on a computer or other network device to test connectivity to the switch. Any VLAN can be assigned a management port. To view the MAC address table on a Cisco switch, you can use the show MAC address-table command. This command displays the MAC addresses that the switch has learned, along with the corresponding VLANs and switch ports. If you have a Layer 3 Cisco switch, or a multi-layer switch, or has a routed interface or SVI, you would use one of the following commands in privilege exec mode: show IP ARP or show ARP. To view the spanning tree protocol or STP status on a Cisco switch, you can use the show spanning tree command. To create a VLAN, you would use the VLAN command. To name a VLAN, you would use the name command. To add a port to a VLAN, you would set the port as an access port with the following command: switch port mode access. To assign the port to a VLAN, you use the following command: switch port access VLAN 10. You would replace 10 with your VLAN ID. If you need to allow multiple VLANs to pass between switches, you can configure a trunk port using the switch port command. Switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk allowed VLAN. Don't forget to save the changes. To show your VLANs on a Cisco switch, use the following command in privilege exec mode: show VLAN brief. To get more detail on VLAN information, use the show VLAN command. To get information about a specific VLAN, use the show VLAN ID and then the VLAN ID command. To show power over Ethernet or PoE power usage, use the show power inline command. The show environment power command on a Cisco switch displays the status of the power supplies and overall power usage in a device, which is useful on modular or enterprise-grade switches. On Layer 3 switches, to show the IP version 4 routing table, you would use show IP route. To display the IP version 6 routing table, you would use IPv6 route. Question: which company is considered the de facto standard for company switches? Answer: Cisco. Question: You just purchased a new Cisco switch that needs to be configured. What would you use to connect to the switch to your laptop? Answer: USB console cable. Question: what command is used to show the current configuration of a Cisco switch? Answer: show run. Question: what commands are used to save the current running configuration? Choose two commands. Answers: copy running -config, startup -config, and write mem. Question: what command is used to enter privilege mode on a Cisco switch? Answer: enable. For more information, visit the following sites. In summary, Cisco has a significant market share in the networking equipment industry, and its switches are used by a vast number of enterprises, data centers, and service providers globally. The console cable in Cisco Catalyst switches is used for direct local management and configuration of the switch. Cisco has two modes. User mode allows an admin to have access to some monitoring commands only, such as the ping command, and to view the configuration of the device. In privilege mode is a protected mode that has the ability to configure all the commands and manage the device. To show the switch configuration, you could execute one of the following commands: show running config or show run. Remember to always change the default password on network gear, including switches and routers. Switches do not require an IP address to function. However, an IP switch can be assigned to a switch so that you can remotely access the switch, which can be done with SSH, Telnet, and a web interface. Thank you for watching this video. The next video will be network switches, troubleshooting switches. If you like this video, click the like button, and if you have not already, subscribe to the Pat Has Your Back channel. Thank you.